So today we're going to fix some rust the easy way. We're going to hide it with a set of eBay fender flares. This vehicle is a 2007 Dodge Ram, 1500 four-wheel drive. I purchased a set of these similar flares off eBay for my Dodge, and they've been on it now for going on 4 years, and I haven't had any issues with them. They're cheap and they're easy to install, and they'll dress it up and kind of hide this rust for a couple years anyways. Well, at least 3 years before the rust progresses. So let's get to it. Okay, now that all the cosmetic bolts are installed, we're gonna put this rubber trim around the edge of the flare where it makes contact with the painted section of the vehicle. The purpose of this is just to keep it from rubbing through the paint. It's got a little red tab in there, okay? It's got double-sided tape, but I stick this all on there, and then once I get it cut to fit, or well, once I get it started to set in place, that's when I remove the backing from the adhesive so it sticks. And then once you have this rubber trim piece all the way on here, you can start by just peeling this this piece of red tape out of there, and then just press down on it as you go, and it'll stick it to the flare. There, one flare is ready to install. 3 more to go. Okay, let's throw a fender flare on this and cover that rust up. This is the driver's side rear wheel well opening. And if you look right here, I don't know if you can see that, right there is an empty hole, and right there is an empty hole. The kit came with these small push pins. We're going to stick one in there. And we're going to stick one in here. And those are two of the anchor spots where the fender flare is going to bolt to the vehicle. Moving over here to the back side, you'll see there's two 8mm headed bolts, screws actually, and that's the other two spots where it's going to fasten to the vehicle. And then all the way up around here it actually uses clips. It's handy if you have some sort of clamping device. You could use, I'm going to use needle nose vice grips, but you can use those spring hand clamps. Just something to hold this in position while we put it on the vehicle. I like to use a little straight pick tool to stick it through the hole and line up the fasteners when I'm doing this side. You don't want to tighten that all the way down until you get the other one started. You want to push in on the flare so it's tight against the truck when you tighten these down. Okay, everywhere where you see one of these slots, there's going to be 3 on each back flare, I think 2 on the front. They supply these little clips. And I don't know if you can see, but on the inside, on one side you can see that little indent in the center there. There's a tooth that grabs it. That tooth is meant to grab into the plastic. So you want to put that side towards the flare. Boy, this truck's got a lot of crud on the back side here. You might have to use a screwdriver to open these up a little bit. Ideally, you'd like that lined right up with that, but because of the way the rust is on the back side over here, I can't do that. So, and if a guy wanted to, you could probably run some extra holes, you know, drill some extra holes in here. But this is exactly, I followed the directions when I installed these on mine, and I use these clips. And like I said, it's been almost 4 years, and I haven't had any issues with them yet. Okay, I'm going to repeat that 2 more times. One right here and one over here in this area. This is all real crusty back here, so I don't know if I'll get it right on that spot, but close to it anyway. I'm going to stick a screwdriver in here and spread that out just enough. Maybe I can get it over that rust. It's almost like the metal is thicker than it's supposed to be due to the rust. Where is it thinner at? Maybe it's thinner over here. when I push that clip all the way on, I'm pushing with my hand to make sure that the flare is tight against the truck. Alright, we're going to put another one over here. There. That's how they're supposed to go on, like that right there. You should be able to just forcefully push them on with your hand. We lost one of our fasteners here. Alright, that flare's installed. Let's go do the front one. One of the negatives to putting these fender flares on is this Hemi badge right here is in the way. If this thing would have been a ½ inch higher up out of the way, it could probably stay where it's at, but we're going to have to take it off. Because we're just, when we put the flare in place, we're just catching the corner of that Hemi badge. So I'm going to grab a heat gun and we'll heat that up and pull that off of there. Okay, the emblem is off. There was a lot of glue on there. And you can see how the paint is really, really fresh where it used to be, and it's kind of faded around it. If we put the flare over it, then everybody's going to see that. So I'm just going to touch this up with a little bit of a polish here to make it look nice. Whew, static. It got me. Alright, that looks good. You can't really see where that emblem was. Everything looks uniform. Let's throw this flare on. So just like the rear, there's a couple of trim screws we're going to pull out. There's one right here, there's one right here, and then there's one down here. So the total of 3. And then those are going to go back in once the flare's in place, and then we're also going to use clips. Those are also 8mm, just like before. I can tell you what's going on here. I think the reason why this isn't going together as easy as it should be is I think this fender's been replaced. I was thinking that when I pulled that emblem off and there was so much excessive glue behind it. When I did the other side, I didn't have that issue at all. And now it wants me to pull the fender one way and pull the fender liner the other way. On here. Got it. All right, now. Where's it at? Okay, now we're going to put two of those clips on because there's two oblong slots in the fender flare. I'm not going to zoom in. This is just the same as you saw me do back there. I'm just going to slide this over. Oh, I missed it. Let's try that again. There's one. There's two. Okay. That flare is installed. Let's lower it down and see how it looks. Oh man, it's back.
What just happened?
The power flashed out. I couldn't just leave that badge off there, so I glued it back on. You can see the fitment is real nice on the flare. It's tight to the body all the way around. Looks good. Let's check out the rear. Now this just looks way better. I mean, just because it's covering up the rust. You can see the fitment is good. It's tight all the way to the body, all the way around. These flares can be had for less than 150 bucks on eBay. I would imagine Amazon probably sells them too. And they sell them for every kind of pickup truck or vehicle you could imagine. So that's it. Relatively easy and inexpensive. If you guys found this video helpful or you enjoyed it, hit thumbs up. If you haven't been here before, Hit the subscribe button and check out my other videos. I appreciate the support. Thanks, guys, for watching.